Okay, so I stopped at talking about the textbooks I have for Biblical Hebrew and for Modern Hebrew. Um, Basically, I have about four textbooks, or like learning books, I guess you can call them. I don't know if they're one of them is an actual textbook, and the other three are kind of like, well, I guess they're textbooks as well, but they're kind of more teach yourself style type of textbooks. Um, so I also have these that I got as gifts from a friend maybe a couple years back. She gave me this. Let me show you one at a time. This book is a small book, like it's like about the size of my hand. Sorry, I'm really bad with this camera, and I'm terrible at putting things on the screen. Like everything's kind of backwards. This is called Say It in Hebrew, and this book is by. It doesn't really say it. It doesn't really have an author easily available to see. Well, here we go. By Eliza Servbare. Here. Sorry, I don't know if you can see this at all. There you go. There's the title. Sorry, I don't know if this number is written on the side. Basically, it's a phrase book, and you can basically easily look up words. You look up like how to say something, or look up a topic in the contents. So they have topics such as sports, barbershop, dentist, boat, train, bus, taxi, and then they tell you the page number where to find that. Or you can look in the back in the index and actually look up the word in English, and it will tell you the number of the word. And then you look up, and all these words, every single word or phrase is in a certain is in an order. So it has, fruits are here, and it starts like one of the fruits is word number 643. So, it's really easy to navigate this book. If you're out and about and you want to just use this to speak Hebrew, this would be a good book to have with you. Okay, also, there's this Hebrew English dictionary. Notice it's kind of two-sided here. It's called the New Bantam Megiddo. I like it. It's a dictionary. So I mean, I've never really seen another Hebrew dictionary, so I don't really know what to compare it to. But I found it helpful in working through lessons, trying to look up certain words. Um, Between this and the internet, it's easy to find just about anything. So here's this book, the dictionary, Hebrew English. So it goes Hebrew English or English Hebrew. Another thing that you might want to have if you are trying to learn how to write, or need like to write out some kind of answers for your Hebrew lessons. Some languages, Hebrew is one of them, Japanese, some languages, Arabic, you need maybe a different type of notebook. Like, for example, this is a notebook you would use for writing in English. One thing I did, instead of writing backwards, I kind of took this notebook and kind of crammed some extra pages in here, like this, so that I could actually write from the other direction, even though I didn't. I did write it on both sides. So it's basically like a double notebook. So basically, I added this flap in here. Sorry, can't really show it very easily. So basically, it opens like normal, and then I have this portion here which I was adding in for my Hebrew notebook. And that, is what I used for the Biblical Hebrew, for the Teach Yourself Biblical Hebrew. I used this as a notebook when I actually stopped writing in the book. But I wrote all in those books. Another one, I got these online just because they were cheap and I wanted to check them out. Basically, they're like they're for kids, for like Hebrew school students. And so basically I just wrote in them, basically. So There's my handwriting. I don't know if it's messy or neat. I can't even tell the difference. But basically, I just wrote in it. I wanted to have something where I could feel like it was a little more on the authentic side of a Hebrew notebook, and I couldn't really navigate the Hebrew uh, office office stationery sites well enough to order anything. So I ended up ordering a pack of these online. I don't remember where I ordered them, but it says Kitab Publishing House, New York. So I'm sure you could probably look that up and find them. It has the Hebrew alphabet on the back and on the inside cover, and vowels, and it's pretty helpful. So I have enough time. So I have some other books. I bought this book online. I bought a bunch of stuff on Amazon. Basically, it's an Ashkenaz Siddur. It's pretty helpful. Like, just for trying to read and learn with the English and the Hebrew kind of paired next to one another. It's easy to kind of just look at that and get a feel for what's being said. And I also like just anything that has to do with Jewish culture, Jewish literature. I like it a lot. I read a lot of novels and books. A lot of books on my bookshelf are by Jewish authors that write about their experiences or the experiences they grew up with, even if it's fiction or reality. They wrote a lot about, or some of them still write too. They write about, or they wrote about their experiences being Jewish. And so, after reading multiple books, I was like, I want to get some of these books that they're talking about because it sounds really, really interesting. So I can actually read them myself. And I felt kind of weird checking them out at the library so many times. I was like, I'm going to just buy these things. So I went and just bought them for myself, and I keep them nicely on my bookshelf with all my other books. They're some of my I don't know, I probably like these books more than any other books on my bookshelf. So here's another one. This used to be one of my favorites, but I mean, I can't really say anything bad about it. It has the English paired with the Hebrew as well, but I don't know too much about the English translation in here. It seems a little simplistic, I guess, in comparison to a lot of other texts I've read. So it's more not paraphrased, but the Hebrew, I think, it's just as accurate as the other books, but the English seems a little different from what I've actually learned things to mean. Here's another book. It's an Old Testament Bible. It says Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim. So it's the Hebrew Bible. It's all in Hebrew, the entire thing. I love it. It's amazing. Very helpful in the biblical Hebrew lessons for learning to read. This is the back of it, actually. This is the front, and I really like it a lot. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love my books, and so this is one that I use this often. And this is a close favorite of mine. It's a Chumash. I actually bought a Chumash online. It's a used one. This one is Stone Edition, and I like it because it has the commentary. I really enjoy the commentary because the commentary gives me a lot of cultural depth that I would not have ever known from anyone that I've learned the Bible from, any Bible teachers or schools or anyone that I've ever learned from, other than maybe one person who I'm not going to name, but they never taught me any of that kind of stuff. So I was glad when I was able to purchase a Chumash. And I used to read on the Chabad sites, and then for a certain period of time, they took off the commentary, the English translation, and so I didn't really know the translation for the English, and it really bothered me because I love the commentary. So those are some of my books, and I'm glad to share them.